It's been a long and busy day of
Shit.
NBA trades and a lot of discussion, a lot of trades, and a lot of pump faking by one player by the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Welcome into Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford. Thank you guys for listening, watching, whether you're catching this on Friday morning, whether you're going to watch it sometime over the weekend, or whether you're watching it right now on our YouTube channel or on Danny's X account. If you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to drop in some questions, and I'll make sure to ask Danny those questions as we go through the show. It's super, super late, Danny. You've had a full day from trade deadline show. You did the Lakers and Sixers broadcast for Apple Vision. So I want to talk about that in just a moment, but we got to get right to it, man. Giannis Antetokounmpo, and first and foremost, they've been, they've been cooking. They've been cooking Shams, our boy Shams,
Why
on
they cooking Shams?
X
What he do?
because especially Bucks fans, because they're like, oh, you said this trade was gonna happen, it didn't happen. This, you know how the internet trolls
He's getting
go.
information. He's just the messenger. Yo. He's relaying the message. He ain't the guy making the moves or talking the deals.
It's been incredible to see the how this whole Giannis thing has kind of evolved from when he had the trading deadline, or from when it was believed that he wanted to go to the Knicks, to where we are now. What is your biggest takeaway about the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation?
I mean, that they really didn't want to give him up, bro. And the teams that he wants to go to wasn't in a rush to get him. You know what I'm saying? Like the sense of urgency was lacking. And that because he's such a nice guy, it was not it was not pushed that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he never demanded or asked out, and you have to be a dick to just to get traded or get moved in today's world, today's league. Like you really have to do the extra shit, which I don't like, man. If you just say, and he could have easily just been like, "Yo, it's time. I want to trade. Let's try to find a destination." But he's going back and forth on social media, on Twitter. I'm not fucking leaving. You know the tweets. Like, bro,
Yeah,
what is it?
legends don't chase, they attract.
Yeah, like, bro, what are we
I,
doing here? So, I
I,
mean, the biggest take with Giannis is that he is a very loyal guy to a fault, and I love that he's a professional, but it sucks that you have to be in this world to like to be that to get what you want, to be moved. And again, I feel like it's time he moved. I think he wanted to be moved. He just didn't say it and didn't demand it, so it just wasn't gonna happen.
I'm annoyed with Giannis at this point. I'm annoyed, and the man could do obviously whatever he wants. If he wants to stay, he wants to stay. If he wants to go, he wants to go. But like, having so many mixed signals is not good for his brand, I don't believe. Like, the whole time we're thinking, okay, Bucks are ready to move on, Giannis is ready to move on. Okay, cool. Like, even if it doesn't happen now, I understand the mindset of there's going to be a lot of desperate teams in the offseason when they don't win an NBA title, the offers are going to get better. Cool. But then when he popped out with that Instagram post basically hinting towards the fact that he's staying, he's not leaving, and that he's going to attract attention or attract players to come to Milwaukee. I'm like, bro, why are you even doing this? Just stand 10 toes down on what you actually want and how you're going to get it done. And if you're going to die on that Milwaukee Bucks hill, then just be like that. Don't throw out all of these different scenarios. I feel as if almost Danny, all it was doing was potentially hurting other team morale. Like if you
Yeah,
were on the
yeah,
Knicks, like if you
yeah.
were on the Heat, if
You
you were
hearing the
on the,
talks?
I mean, you had Draymond Green having to go to like a whole career, monologue. Like, I've had 13 years at Golden State. If this is the end, it's been a great run. All these other teams going through all these moments because they think you're on the block, but didn't end up being the case. It's just annoying. I'm annoyed. And I think a lot of other NBA fans outside of maybe Milwaukee Bucks fans are just annoyed at how this thing kind of played out and how it played out. And it was like a troll move by him to throw in the little Instagram post after it all was said and done.
Yeah, I mean, as they should be. We've been talking about it for a really long time, and when it's loud, I said that. Like, I feel like moves don't happen, and now we gotta wait. We got some time for a break, but we're gonna have to do this whole saga again in a couple of months. Like, they're gonna be
Are
talking
we?
about trade. You don't think we're gonna be talking about trading Giannis in the summertime when the season's over?
Yeah, I think we could, but here's the interesting thing, Danny, and this is what's going to make it very the Milwaukee Bucks an interesting watch throughout the remainder of the season. Are they going to be able to sit Giannis Antetokounmpo? Is Giannis Antetokounmpo actually going to sit out the remainder of the season? Can they compel him to sit, or is he actually injured enough where he should sit? And if he does sit, Danny, that puts him in the position to get a lottery pick. And so if you have a lottery pick, let's say in a very stacked draft, what happens if they end up with potentially a slot that can get them Darren Peterson or AJ DeBansta? All of a sudden, Danny, now you could use that if you want to keep Giannis, you could use that as a piece to potentially bring in more talent. They could do it. I'm not advising they should. I think if they end up with a quality player, they should keep that player and move Giannis and let it be like, okay, finally we feel better. Move just like the Dallas Mavericks did. The Dallas Mavericks ended up with Cooper Flag. They said, you know what? We can give up on this Anthony Davis dream. We don't have to do this anymore. We can move forward. We got to face the franchise. So maybe that's what happens.
Well, it made the Luka trade not look so bad when you got the #1 pick.
For sure.
Then the following year, Anthony Davis came back because he had the eye injury and he still had unhealthy issues. Then Kyrie's not there, so it just went bad. But before the season started, everybody was excited for that group. And I'm sure everybody that was there wanted to be there because they thought they were going to be a top contender in the league until Wemby came out and had 40 and like 15. And then it just went downhill from there. But yeah, so again, either way, there's still going to be conversations. There's still going to be murmurs. The season's over. Milwaukee's going to be cheeks. They don't get #1 pick. Even if they do get #1 pick, what are we doing with Giannis? Is Giannis one now? If New York doesn't win this year, do we go get Giannis? Cat's unhappy. It's all determined on what teams win and lose. And there's only going to be one winner. So if the other 29 teams that don't win, they're going to be like, we need to make an upgrade and we need to make it fast. And the biggest losers of the trade deadline are the small market teams that couldn't land them beforehand, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors. The big market teams have a better chance because they weren't rushing right now. They had no sense of urgency. Like, all right, we got a good team right now. We don't have to wait till if he can stay till the summertime, we have a chance then. But we don't need to rush it. So now that he's lasted till the summertime, they don't win. Now we can go all in. We can make moves. So they're justified to make those moves now. So, yeah.
I'm going to be very interested to see how the rest of the season plays out. Before we get done with this, I want to talk about the tanking issue that the NBA is going to have, and the Bucks are a part of that potentially if Giannis doesn't play for the remainder of the season, if he is actually healthy enough. But you mentioned it. There's really not too much more to say about Giannis other than just the whole disappointed with how this thing kind of played out, knowing that we're going to have to go through the saga again. I will say this though, Danny, before we move on to the winners and traders of the deadline. And I know it won't happen because I'm sure Kawhi's people would just not let it happen.
I like this idea.
But if I was the Bucks and I am convinced that I have to keep Giannis no matter what, no matter how bad it messes up my books, as you've seen this past offseason, they don't care about their books. And the salary cap and all those type of things, and paying players who are not even on the roster, i.e. Damian Lillard. If I was the Milwaukee Bucks, and again, I don't think this would happen, I ended up getting a top 5 draft pick. And again, and if I said I wanted to keep Giannis no matter what, I want him to retire a Buck, I would inquire about Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, because he's going to be on the move.
the Clippers, one would think that Kawhi should be on the move. Right, he should be. If you trade away James Harden, you traded away Ivica Zubac, and now with the way the roster is, you are conceding the fact that you're basically giving OKC your pick this year. You might as well go to the Milwaukee Bucks, who might just have the number 6 pick, number 5 pick. Who knows what pick the Bucks get if they sit Giannis, that you can give to the Clippers, and the Clippers would be compelled to say, "Damn, we'll let you have Kawhi. We're able to recoup some of the losses that we've had in the OKC trade. Kawhi only has 1 more year left. And if you're the Bucks, you're like, and you tell Giannis, hey, we got Kawhi. All right, run it up. I don't think it would work. And I think Kawhi would just not. I don't think Kawhi would let that happen. Yeah, no, absolutely not. He left Toronto after winning a chip. You think he won't want to go to Milwaukee? Absolutely not. But again, if I was the Bucks and I was the front office, I would feel stupid if I didn't inquire.
Exactly, at least try. Again, Kawhi is not a young pup anymore. He is still playing at a high level, and because of his unavailability, like other teams might not be inclined to offer an extension. That's where the Bucks might have the leverage. Listen, we'll trade for you and give you the extension you want. I don't know if everybody else is going to do that. We're going to get you here and give you the extension, and you save some dollars on taxes being in the city of Wisconsin or the state of Wisconsin. So
that could do it.
Yeah, that could be enticing because the guys at the end of their careers, they're gonna take the biggest bag they can get. You see, Paul George left LA to go to Philly. I'm sure he didn't want to go, but you know what? They offered me the 4 years. I got to get the bag. This is my last one, so I'm gonna go get it. But yeah, I liked your idea, but it's gonna be very hard for them to do that because even if they get, I said, yeah, Milwaukee, they'd have to get a really high pick. If they get like a top 3 pick, they could probably get away with it. But then they have to throw in some other pieces with it. But yeah,
if you were Bomber, and Lawrence Frank, I would seriously have to consider it, even if Kawhi said he doesn't want to.
Yeah, especially if you're jumping ship and you're going younger, like you get all these young pieces, you get all these draft picks, and you can get a top 3 pick. But imagine if they got number 1 pick.
Imagine
AJ DeBonta, like what? Or Darren Peterson?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think the Bucks would be foolish for still trying to hold on to Giannis. I think if you get AJ DeBanza, you say, "Okay, Giannis, you're welcome. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for toughing it out. We'll finally move you now to the team where it's going to work."
Keep AJ DeBanza or you use that DeBanza to get Kawhi. Like one of those guys.
You don't. What we've learned from the Golden State Warriors, you don't try to do the 2 timelines thing. That's foolish. When they were trying to compare James Wiseman and Jordan Poole. Well, Jordan Poole kind of worked. They won a chip, but like trying to mesh the old era with the new era to have the 2 timelines and saying that they're leap years overlap front officers. No, it doesn't work. You gotta give the actual opportunity for players to develop. So, shall be interesting. But with that being said, though, Danny, and shout out to everybody who's coming in on the chat. I ain't got no thoughts on the fall off just yet. I'll listen to the fall off tomorrow.
Same. I haven't, bro. I've been.
It's all but it's definitely will be a weekend listen. That's for sure. With that being said, Danny, let's get into majority of this pod and starting out with the winners of the trading deadline. I have a lot of losers, in my opinion, from this trading deadline. There are a couple of winners that I've identified. Go tell me one of your winners.
One of my winners? Boston. Boston's a winner. Like, I'm going to give you the small winners, the small wins. Minnesota got a small win.
Ayo Dosunmu is a nice little pickup.
Charlotte got a little small win. I won't give you the big wins because I'm saving my top 5 teams that I want to. But like Charlotte got a little small win. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Indiana. You know.
See, I want to talk about that Indiana deal, and we'll get to that in a moment. I know by the time we finish this, you're going to give your top 5 teams that you want to see post trading deadline, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But I'll identify the 2 big winners of the trading deadline.
Utah for sure is the biggest one. Utah's the biggest winner.
No,
not the biggest one, but they're definitely top 3 winner.
They're a winner for sure. But the biggest winners, number 1, the New York Knickerbockers, 100%. The fact that Giannis did not move means that the Knicks are in a great position. They can compete this year with the roster that they have. That is, in my opinion, still the best roster in the Eastern Conference. And if it doesn't work out in the NBA Finals, then you can consider trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo. It is a beautiful scenario when it comes to that. And then number 2, the fact that they picked up Jose Alvarado. Danny, you already know what the Garden is going to be like. It's going to be Dominican flags, Puerto Rican Dominican flags for Karl Anthony Towns, Puerto Rican flags for Jose Alvarado. You know the Garden is going to go absolutely nuts. Now, I like the move, and then I really thought the new move was almost necessary when we found out that Deuce McBride is going to miss extended period of time with the injury the core muscle injury that he just suffered. So I'm a little disappointed about Deuce, and I'm going to be curious to see how Mike Brown balances Shamet Deuce, if he does
Clarkson,
come back,
Clarkson.
Clarkson, Kolick, and now
Yeah.
Alvarado. That's 5 small guards. And I don't know how he's gonna map it out, and they're all valuable in their own right. I have a way that I would do it. I'm going to be curious to see how Mike Brown plays that out, because if you look at Kolick is more of a playmaker type. You don't leave him open for 3, but I've seen sometimes he struggled with ball pressure. Landry Shamet is a great defender in my opinion, or a very
Even
good defender, but obviously a very good shooter. But he's not a guard who's going to bring up the ball. Then you look at Jordan Clarkson. He could try. He's just not a good defender, point blank period. And he's really he's a gunner. And I don't know how many gunners you need when you already have 4 players capable of dropping 20 points per game in the starting lineup. And then you also have Deuce McBride, who might come back, who's a point of
Josh
attack
Hart
defender.
sometimes off the bench.
I honestly feel like Josh Hart is probably the second playmaker on the team. I don't know how Mike Brown handles that, but it's a good problem to have as long as egos are in check.
Especially when the season's as long as it is, and because there's always a gift and a curse, but there's always injuries, bro. Like there's always somebody that has bumps and bruises that's out. Now the playoffs, you hope you're fully healthy. That's gonna be the tricky part. But at least you can have different lineups for different groups that you match up with. It's like, all right, with this group, we're gonna have Jose and Tyler and Deuce, those 3. And then we'll mix up, all right, this lineup, we have Clarkson, Deuce, and Jose, that type of thing. So it's a good problem to have. What the hell happened? I saw that Wabusele left, or no, like, did he get waived or what?
So what? Gershon Yabusele had a player option for next season. Now, in order for him to be traded, it was reported that he agreed with the New York Knicks to modify his contract, and so that he can get traded to the Chicago Bulls. So he doesn't have a player option for next year. It's gone. It's not in his contract anymore. He's just playing the rest of the season. So right now he has essentially a 30-game tryout with the Chicago Bulls to potentially get a contract next year. If you look at the box score, he actually balled out tonight. And the way that the Bulls don't have anybody in the front court, he might ball out for the rest of the season, because all Chicago has is guards over there. They don't have anything else. So it's going to be.
But they did bring in Nick Richards, so they brought him in last second to get a big.
Yeah.
But I thought he was trying. He's talking about him going back to Tel Aviv or going overseas. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Good for him. He was able to stick around. So the Knicks are a clear winner in my opinion, and I don't think any team in the East got significantly better. While there's teams that got better, I think the Cavs got better. I think Boston got better, but I don't think there's any team that made a leap per se that would make the Knicks still not the favorite in the Eastern Conference. So the Knicks are winners. Number 2, the other winner, Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's not just for this season.
Because the Clippers.
It's incredible what they were able to pull off. It's not just, think about it like this, Danny. Jared McCain at one point last year was looking like the rookie of the year. The kid could clearly shoot. He could hoop. Yes. Is he coming back from an injury? And did VJ Edgecombe rise and Quentin Grimes play kind of put him in an awkward spot in Philly? For sure. But he could definitely hoop. And you were at the Lakers-Philly game tonight. They could have used Jared McCain shooting. That's for sure, the way the Sixers went cold in the fourth quarter. But the Oklahoma City
he hasn't shown that shooting this year either, though. He has not shown that. That's why he was down in the G League some. So he needs some time to get that rhythm back and build back. He's not looking like the Jared McCain of last year, but he is capable. So we know he can once he gets back there.
If Jared McCain can find his rhythm again, you're talking about a guy who's still on a rookie scale contract. And what happens this offseason, Danny? They got players like Lou Dort, who just signed to Clutch. So you know he's going to try and get that back.
With that paper.
Alex Caruso is a player who's making $20 million a year. Alex Caruso is a very quality championship role player. But in a world where you're going to have to pay, where you pay SGA, where you're going to have to pay Chet, and where you're going to have to pay Jalen Williams, what do the Oklahoma City Thunder need? Cheap, quality labor. Point blank, period. And that is what Jared McCain can be for them, so they can suffer a loss. What about somebody like Isaiah Joe, who's probably like, yo, I'm a quality player. I want to get paid more. Thank you for the championship. I'm out of town. Having somebody like Jared McCain on the roster allows you to, It allows you to eat
Those
some
other
of those
guys,
roster losses.
expendable. Yeah.
Exactly. You
No.
gotta retool in this double apron era, and that's what Jared McCain allows him to do. Now that's just Jared McCain.
Mhm.
So that's just Jared McCain potentially for this season, but going forward, it allows a lot more roster balance or cap balance. But then because the Clippers traded away James Harden, because they traded away Ivica Zubac, that means, Danny, a roster that has SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren could potentially add a Cameron Boozer
Yeah.
in the draft. They can
That's kind of
add a
crazy.
Darren Peterson, a Cameron Boozer. The Thunder can Caleb Wilson from North Carolina.
Yeah.
The Thunder are going to be headaches for the entire league. The fact that they could end up with a lottery pick, let alone a top 5 pick, who knows how the lottery balls are going to turn out, is absolutely scary. And for Sam Presti, you have to be doing cartwheels, not just because you have a championship roster now, but because you have so much quality, you have so much to look forward to with your draft capital that you can keep this roster sustainable. And that we just saw it last year. Shout out to Joe Mazzulla, he's coaching his ass off. But we saw the Boston Celtics had to break up. A championship roster had to break up simply because of money and Jason Tatum's injury. They had to break it down. You saw you saw the Pacers basically said, "Yo, we're not paying Miles Turner. He's going to make a lot of money, and Tyrese Halliburton is hurt." The Thunder are going to say, "Yo, yeah, any of our big three never leaving." Because we're always going to have cheap labor coming through the pipeline. We're always going to have draft picks to get more draft picks to get more draft picks. It's stupid what they can do. So they're clearly winners.
Definitely. But they've been winners before. Like both those teams, again, Knicks won. I would state that case because Giannis didn't move. And OKC's been a winner for some time now because of what they've been able to put together and still have draft picks coming in and have Clippers draft pick. And James is gone. And their whole team is their team is depleted. So yeah, man, scary to think about.
It's unbelievable. I know I mentioned the New York Knicks, and obviously we haven't talked about the James Harden deal. Would you consider the Cavs or the Clippers winners or losers? Because I think the trade has has a lot of different sides to it.
We're still waiting for that extension to come out. We don't know what that extension is going to be, but I call them winners in present day. Like you got somebody that's more available, somebody that can score consistently, also bring you dynamic, get to free throw line. He is a bigger guard, and he can create for your bigs. Like he makes it way easy. Like your bigs are going to eat. He's making every big look great, and Don don't have to bring the ball up anymore. Like the reason they lost Indiana series because Darius wasn't available. Like they had no other point guards. Donovan was literally dying and tired, and they didn't play Ty Jerome, who they dearly miss as well. He's bringing up the ball in full court. They turned the ball over like 4 or 5 times. If you remember, Indiana came back every series. They were down. They were down 7 points with like 20 seconds to go. You have somebody that can just keep the table steady, keep the ship not from going rocking crazy in a storm. James, now he may not have great playoff series at the end of it, but he'll at least make sure he don't turn the ball over or make some free throws. And when you have Donovan Mitchell and those 2 bigs around you, I think they got at least 20% better, and they could maximize that with getting like a good 35-40% better than what they were. Which I mean doesn't make them contenders. It doesn't make them contenders, but it makes them way better than what they were. Like not way better, but a good amount better.
I mean, do you not feel did you have the Cavs as the second best team in the Eastern Conference going into the season?
No, I had them as the best team going. Yeah, second best team, yes, behind the Knicks.
Behind the Knicks, okay.
Like, well, record-wise, I thought they would have the best record.
Yeah,
but I still think they're behind them.
You and I have talked about this. I don't care about records. I care about team quality at the end of the day. If the Knicks had the 5th best record in the Eastern Conference, I would still say they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, and I would still have them as favorites to get out the East. With that being said, I honestly feel like the Cavs should feel, and fans for their team should reset their expectations back to where it was at the beginning of the season. They should feel that they're on par with the New York Knicks, in my opinion, because James Harden, while he's not a great elimination game player, he is as he's shown this year, he's a great player, point blank period, and he could produce. And the fact that he's not your number one option, and I think what's going to help him too is not only is he not the number one option anymore, but he's not even necessarily somebody who has to bring up the ball anymore too. Because even when he's with Kawhi and with the Clippers, even though Kawhi was the number one option, James still had to initiate offense. He still had to be the playmaker. So there are going to be times, Danny, where James can literally just be a catch and shoot guy, and Donovan's going to bring up the ball, and you're not leaving James Harden open. So even if he has his moves where he's shying away, he still has gravity, and he doesn't even have to play make at times because Donovan still can. So, and then you add that into, I think they should.
I don't put
him
at
also
two,
too, as I watched the Pistons tonight, and I know they got beaten by the Wizards. I know it's going to sound crazy. I still don't believe in the Pistons. I don't.
I don't either, but they made some good moves. They made some good moves today, so I like what they did.
If you put the Pistons up against the Cavs, who would you expect to win?
I would say Pistons.
Considering the playoff experience of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, you would still favor the Pistons. Why?
Not tough enough still. And they got some toughness. They don't rebound well enough.
Yeah.
They didn't fix that hole. That hole is still there. That toughness rebounding hole is still very much there. And defense didn't get much. It got somewhat better, but it didn't get much better. I still put Cleveland. They got better. I still put them in that second tier. The top tier to me, Detroit, Boston, Knicks in that top tier. Like those are the top three teams of the East. They're in another, like those three teams have a chance at like making it out of the East. Underneath that is Cleveland and Philly. Like I put Philly and Cleveland under that. Like those are the teams that like when they're healthy, they can get scary. Like if they get a rhythm, if they get a matchup, they can be scary. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have Cleveland. You don't want to match up with them.
The East,
and they also with Miami. Like Miami's one of those teams who like you match up with them. Like Spo is just a good coach. Like he can break. But no, I don't believe in them either. But they're probably third tier. So the second tier is Philly, and Cleveland.
Philly's a scary team to me if healthy, and obviously with Joel Embiid and his history of playoff injuries. Yeah,
everybody else is underneath that.
Jared Allen once again is going to be on that. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are once again going to be in that summer jam screen come the playoffs. I've never seen a talented pair of big men widespread believed to be soft. Like it's not just people saying like it's an undercurrent, it's kind of rumors, people whispering it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically almost I wouldn't
front
say
news. It's on the front line.
I wouldn't say it's common knowledge. I can't. It's still an opinion.
It's not even like it's not even unspoken. You know what I'm saying? Like unspoken.
It's not an unspoken rumor. It is on the headline. The Cavaliers combination of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are just soft.
Not enough to win.
Too many people are comfortable saying that. And they should feel a way about that. So I would love for them to play against the Pistons. Let's see them answer those calls for them being soft. I would love for them to play against Joel Embiid, and let me see if they answer the calls of people calling them soft. Because I would be very uncomfortable if people on TV and in media and fans comfortably calling me soft. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like you play with them and you feel comfortable saying it because you're not the only, it's just widespread belief.
I didn't say the words. I just said they don't rebound well enough. But you know what I meant when I said
you said they're not tough enough.
The group needs toughness. They need more toughness.
That's wild. It's wild. All right. As I said, I feel like not a lot of winners per se. A lot of losers. Let's talk about those. Let me give you my biggest loser of the trading deadline, Danny.
Golden State.
Nah, they've already lost causes in my opinion.
Bro, they couldn't get Giannis. That's terrible. Like
they couldn't get Giannis, but I think that was a dream in the first place, honestly. And they gave up Kuminga, and they only got back Porzingis, and who knows if Porzingis is ever going to be healthy. Like the I never thought the Warriors were gonna be anything this year,
Chicago is
especially
probably
after
number
the
one.
Jimmy Butler.
Chicago looks
I'm
crazy.
not even worried. I'm not even worried about Chicago because what was Chicago? An annual playing team. Maybe they're actually winners
But they only
because,
got second round. They got a bunch of second round picks and a
but
bunch of
Danny,
guards.
they might actually be bad enough now that they'll miss the play-in. Like maybe they'll actually end up getting a quality pick in the draft because they're
And
actually
then what do you do
a
with all the
bad
guards?
team.
For sure. What do you do with all the guards that you just
I
traded for?
It's clear to me at least that they don't care about the team quality this year, so they'll figure out in the offseason. They've made
Yeah.
that they've made it evidently clear that they don't care about the team quality if you just look at the roster construction. So if that was their goal, they achieved it.
Yeah.
Whether we can call them winners, we can call them losers, but maybe their goal was to be losers, which would then make them winners. Here's a team that is an absolute undeniable loser of the trading deadline. The Houston Rockets. How in the world do you look at what you have on the court right now and not make one move? Fred VanVleet, you have to pray that he comes back and and can be somewhat of himself. But even then, that's hoping against hope. While you see him not be there, you've watched your team perform horribly in the clutch. They have the second worst turnover rate in clutch time so far this season. We've seen this amazing offense, greatest offense of all time rating, really show that it was kind of fraudulent because if you didn't have Steven Adams grabbing 5 offensive rebounds a game, you're
That's what
really
hurts me
not that
most.
great of an offense. So you lost your superpower in Steven Adams in offensive rebounding. You lost your just like what should be mandated for any championship caliber team, having a steady point guard presence. You got smacked around by a Jaylen Brownless Boston Celtics team the night before the trading deadline. They lost again tonight, by the way, to the Charlotte Hornets, and it didn't even look close. Charlotte has been hooping, but you shouldn't be losing to them at home if you're a championship caliber team, or at least make it close. It wasn't close. They have been solved halfway through the season, and they did not make one move to solve to solve their problem during the trading deadline. Now you can go out there, maybe you get a Michael Conley on buyout.
Yeah.
Maybe you get
Lonzo Ball.
Alonzo Ball. Damn, honestly, you might have to hit up Chris Paul just to help them out.
Yeah.
Because I'm if I was a Rocket fan, I would be so sick and tired of watching centers guarding Amen Thompson while he's at the 3-point line and they're standing in the paint. And Kevin Durant having to play point guard and him turning over the ball because he's not a point guard. He's not a playmaker. It's just a bad situation, and it's looking worse and worse. And
honestly, I think they're just waiting for next year. Honestly, like you better hope KD is KD next year.
No, that makes you losers. You can't wait till next year. Kevin Durant is not 25 years old.
You traded for him to win now.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you go. But like I watched the deadline and I couldn't believe it. They didn't even make one move. They didn't even make one move.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing small either. They could have did something small. Tyus Jones, they could have went got him. He was supposed to he got sent to Dallas, and they could have got him for it. He ain't super expensive. We're waiting for him to get waived and bought out or something from Charlotte because Charlotte went and got 3 point guards. But yeah, no, to me, I'm like, once you lost Steven Adams, you're no longer a championship. Like you don't have contention. If Fred ain't coming back and Steven Adams gone, unless y'all somehow pulled off some crazy trade to make you back there, you have to wait till next year, which ultimately, like you said, is losing because you only have KD for a 2-year window, 3-year window. If you have to wait another year, we don't know if KD's going to return the same KD. But yeah, that's a foul. That's a bad one. I don't know, bro.
It's very interesting to me. And
I still think they're ahead of the Warriors. As it stands, they're still ahead of the Warriors.
But being ahead of the Warriors, what does that mean? It doesn't mean the Warriors are not a good team. Just being honest. They're not. Okay, there's been some debate about this one, Danny. So I'm curious about your opinion. And I'm seeing it online. Like 50-50 people are trying. Some people are saying that the Pacers are losers. Some people are saying that the Pacers are winners, and here's the complication: they traded for Ivica Zubac, who's a very good center, and to do that,
they gave up a lot.
They gave up a first round. They gave up a bunch. They gave up some draft picks, but the most important one is
in a second round. I think.
Yeah, 2 first rounds. I think one is 2031 or 2032, and the other one is 2026. Now, the 2026 one is interesting because it's protected 1 to 4. If it's in between 1 to 4, the Pacers
keep 4 to 10. It's 4 to 10.
And it's 4 to 10. It goes to the Clippers.
Yeah.
And then if it's outside of 10, and then if it's still and then outside of 10, it still goes to the Pacers. So, what I wonder, Danny, and again, I'm a Knicks fan. I work for MSG Network, so I love watching the Knicks, and I think about it from that. I think about it that way. When I watched the Pacers play against the Knicks last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, what's the thing that absolutely screwed the Knicks up? Pascal's, yes, the pace, but particularly from a play standpoint, it was the pick and pop game with Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton. That absolutely messed up Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. They worked so hard to put Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns in those actions because they knew it was going to be hard for them to keep up with the with lateral quickness, being guarding Miles Turner from the 3-point line, or if Halliburton gets into the paint. It just really messed up the Knicks. And so now I'm looking at Zubac and I'm like, he's a very good player. But that element that Miles Turner had, that stretch 5, it feels like it's like eliminated now because Pascal's not a stretch 4. So
he did play well enough. He stretched it. He shot it he shot it well in the playoff series. He was honestly their best player consistently.
Is it worth potentially losing a top lottery pick? Like from the 5 to 10 range could still be Caleb Wilson. It could still be Nate Emmett from Tennessee. It could still be I know it's not going to be Darren Peterson, but we're still talking about a very damn good player and maybe a 3-and-D player that they need. Maybe it could be a stretch 5 that they're going to need. Is Ivica Zubac, even though he has a good contract?
I'm wondering what the chances are of them being in a 5 to 10 pick. Like, I feel like they have higher chances of being 1 through 4 than it is 5 through 10.
Well, but you know how it goes, Danny. Like, it's the Mavericks didn't have a great chance to get the number 1 overall seed. You're putting that. Would you, if you were in the GM spot, would you be putting that up to fate for Ivica Zubac? Again, it's not saying Zubac's not good, but like, is he worth that?
I think he's very good, and he's a good center. You're missing a center. You needed one. And as much as Miles Turner was good for them, pick and pop, he wasn't killer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like the Knicks killer, or you know what I'm saying? Like, he was.
But it's also But it's the prototype too. It's the stretch 5. Like Zubac is not a stretch 5. So
it's the presence. It's the presence. I'm with you. I think Zubac is really good, and he's on a very, very fair deal right now. Like, making 11, 12. He's like a Denny Avia deal. It's like you're making 11 a year or something like that. You gave up a lot for him, but you weren't going to extend Mathurin, so that's okay to let go. You weren't going to pay him. Isaiah Jackson, I think he came off ACL, so he didn't play much last year. You weren't going to keep him or extend him. So the second round doesn't matter that much. The 2 first rounders hurt, but it's like, all right, one is for sure. The other one is it's a risky one, but it's a good chance that it might still be yours. You might be able to keep it. So that's why, I mean, Indiana's going to be.
Would you have done it?
Depends on what I thought we needed or what I wanted. If I thought we needed a real center that is a good role guy and protector and rebound, then yes, he's the best. He's one of the best big men out there that you're going to get that can do what he does. And if you got Tyrese Halliburton, TJ McConnell, Nembhard, some of the best guards that push the pace and can be in pick and roll, Pascal, everybody else that can shoot from the perimeter. Obi Toppin is a gazelle. You just got one guy that needs to rebound and give you toughness, and that it can drop off and it can dunk and protect the rim. I'm with it. Again, because also we talk about this draft is a very good draft. Don't get me wrong, but every draft is a risk. We have no idea what these young players are going to turn out to be.
Okay,
we don't know if they're going to turn out to be another Zubac. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of lottery guys that I know are not still, like, they didn't last even. Could be a Wiseman for all we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not last.
Take the proven commodity while you're an NBA Finals team.
I'm with it.
Okay.
Honestly, I think both sides. It's a pretty good trade. I think both sides. I wouldn't say
It's
like
a great trade for the Clippers. It's a
Clippers
great
got a
trade
lot
for
of
the
picks.
Clippers.
It's a fair even. Like I wouldn't say somebody got fleeced. I say it's a good
No.
pickup for Indiana, and it's a great pickup for the Clippers too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. Ready for another loser?
yeah.
Ja Morant.
As of right now, for the moment, it may happen soon. It's in the summertime.
It's not. It's the fact that he has to be there in Memphis, sitting there, kind of
knowing that
knowing
they don't want him.
they don't want you.
Still collecting the check.
The reason, yeah, I mean, obviously, he's still a winner in life, but
Yeah.
he has to be there, knowing that number one, they don't want you. Number two, this thing broke up mainly because of you. This thing, the reason why Desmond Bain is gone, the reason why Jaren Jackson Jr. is not there.
Steven Adams,
Steven Adams,
Brooks, Tyus Jones,
the reason
Williams.
why it's like watching all of your homies go to college and you still and you not going to college. Everybody going off, doing better things in their life.
It's way worse than that.
You the popular kid in high school. You know what I'm saying? Senior year, you the fun one, you the popular one. Everybody graduated, going off to college.
Yeah, he was the man of high school, dog.
He was the man of high school, dog.
He was the man of high school, homie. What happened to him?
He's got to sit there. He's got to sit there with that.
He's got to
sit there with that,
homie.
And for him to even see the offers that are out there on the trade market,
and nobody, and your value, people talking about your value is low, and people want picks with you, like
people want you, and you got to sit there and you got to take it. Fall from grace.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. Hey, man.
When you were there, how shocked from a shock level, 10 being the most shocking, because you were there. 10 again be the most shocking. How from 1 to 10, how do you feel about the demise of the, I don't know what nickname this Grizzly team had, but the demise of that era of Grizzlies?
Not that shocked, honestly.
Give me a number.
Like 10 being the most shocked and 1 being the least shocked. Probably like a 4.
Why?
I could see, I wouldn't say see it coming from a mile away, but I knew they operated with each other. Like as soon as I saw the stones happen, I'm like, all right, this shit is. Steven Adams' knee went down. He was out for a while. He was taking his time. When they let Dillon Brooks kind of take the scapegoat route, they started making some trades. I'm like, all right, they're kind of losing their swag. You know what I'm saying? And then,
when you were there though, like, did you feel like there was something from a culture standpoint that was going to lead to this?
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
I'd rather not elaborate, but I could
give me something.
I could tell. I mean, the group really fucked with each other, and of course, there's always cliques in certain teams, right? This one didn't seem like that. It just seemed like everybody fucked with each other. Even Ja fucked with the group, but he had his own group. Like I'm gonna say he was a lone wolf, but he had his family and friends he'd take care of. And you could tell he was getting pulled from a lot of different directions, and he was a young kid that didn't want to say no, and they're all living vicariously through him. Now, even when the gun thing happened, that's where I could say I was not shocked. I wasn't shocked that it happened, and I wasn't shocked that it happened twice.
You were on the roster when the gun thing happened.
I had just left. It happened right after I left. So again, I was not shocked by that.
The report about the laser that came out when you were on the roster.
Yes. I'd rather not elaborate. But when the gun thing came out, I was not shocked. When it happened a second time, I was not shocked. And then from there, I knew. And again, the pieces started when Dylan was gone, but I knew. I feel like Dylan is one of those guys, great teammate, but at a certain time during that time, it's like it was an expiration date for him there. And then I saw Steven Adams kind of seeing the whole thing play out and him taking his time with his knee coming back, and then they traded him. I said, all right, this team is not going to be the same with those two guys. They lost a lot of defensive chip and rebounding. As much as you try to be Zach Edey to be Steven Adams, he's not going to be Steven Adams. It's going to take some time for that to happen. He could be, but it's going to take some time. Because even Steven Adams took like 8 years for him to be Steven Adams. He did. He has. You hear his story. He had a long road, JUCO, prep, whatever, college, Pitt, OKC, and then became Steven Adams. So it took a while to become that. And then when the last straw was Taylor Jenkins, I'm like, bruh, it's a wrap. Once that happened, I said the chips are everybody's gonna fall. And then said Dez is gonna be out halfway out the door. And then I'm like, John Tripp, the only ones that like when I saw the team, I called the game last year in Miami. I didn't recognize half the team. I'm like, damn it, I only been away from the team for like a year and a half. Where the fuck is everybody? There's only 3 guys in the group that I know. I mean, Vince Williams, like some of the guys, but Jitty, he wasn't even playing that much. Like it was just different, bro. It was a very different vibe, different energy. But yeah, I was not shocked by the incidents that happened. I was not just by how certain things were like being moved or how certain people moved. And I was not shocked that once certain people were let go and once the firing happened, that it was going to be like that.
I will say,
I just didn't think it was going to happen that fast. I thought it was going to take like, they're going to give it a good 3 years. But I guess it was about 3 years. So shit. So
yeah, time is going fast. I will say the Grizzlies have done a good job in terms of getting assets for Desmond Bane. Done a good job getting assets for Jared Jackson Jr. I do think Cedric Coward is a very good core piece. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a number 1, but I think he's a core piece on a very good team. I like Jalen Wells as well. I think they have some things. I'm surprised nobody
Zach
made a move. Zach
Edey
could be somebody. I still like Santi Aldama. I'm surprised. Yes. I'm surprised nobody's made a move to get KCP. I thought KCP could be a nice championship quality role player.
He makes a lot of money though. He makes a lot of money. I mean, Brandon Clark, I said again, he had injuries, hasn't been
Brandon Clark's been injured, yeah.
He's been there for some time. Like, yeah, man.
It's any of the losers of the trade. Those are the ones for me. The Rockets, for sure. We debated the Pacers. I'm still on the fence about it. But Ja Morant, and we didn't even need to talk about the Miami Heat being losers of this whole trading deadline. It's obvious. Their fans, as I've seen online, are not happy with this pipe dream that they feel that they've been sold over the past 3 years, starting with Damian Lillard or Donovan Mitchell's coming, Damian Lillard's coming. Yeah, none of it happens. None of it happens.
You blame management? They're not willing to budge, or
I think it's interesting the common thought among fans, at least online, is that the Miami Heat are relying too much on Miami and their appeal, as opposed to just going out there and drafting and develop actual stars. They keep on trying to trade for stars instead of developing stars.
Yeah. I mean, they developed some of those guys look okay. I wouldn't say all those guys were developed. They got some in moves. But Jaime looks a lot better this year. You know, who else? They got Jovic, solid. They got Fontecchio and
Kyle Larson. They got some. I mean, they got
Khalil Ware.
Yeah, who's seemingly been in and out of the doghouse with Eric Spoelstra. Okay. I wanted to say that maybe the Wizards were winners. I wanted to say that maybe the Jazz were winners, but I really wanted to talk about, Danny, the tanking problem we have in the NBA now. And it became even more evident during this trading deadline. There are teams out there, a multitude of teams that are simply tanking to get in this lottery draft, and especially with the pick protections the way they're set up, it is absolutely nasty. You look at the Washington Wizards, Danny. They have a lottery protected pick. If they lose that, it ends up top 8 projected, I believe. And if they lose it, it ends up going to the New York Knicks. They don't want to do that. They want to lose games. I watched the Wizards tonight, and I never should have in the first place. I watched the Wizards tonight. They played Alex Sarr basically to the 7-6 minute mark in the third quarter, Danny. And then Alex Sarr didn't touch the floor again. Same thing with Keyshawn George. They still won the game, so whatever. But they purposely, there was nothing wrong with Alex Sarr. They decided not to play him. The Utah Jazz have a lottery protected pick this year. If they mess around and win too many games, who gets their pick? The Oklahoma City Thunder. So even though the Utah Jazz have Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr., a very enticing trio to watch for the rest of the season,
they're not going to play.
You probably won't be seeing them. And if you see them for some reason, they're going to be on some type of weird ass minute
restriction. Yeah.
You have you also have the situation with the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a top 5 player in the world, if not top 3. And the Bucks would be wise, Danny, to not play him. And let's keep it real. Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks are unwatchable. Just point blank period. Just look at their record without him. You look down, the Nets are going to be tanking. The Dallas Mavericks, who have one of the best rookies that we've seen in a while in Cooper Flagg. Granted, I'm enjoying watching him, but they're also tanking too.
Yeah.
So you look around the league, Danny, and there's a wealth of teams. Now the Sacramento Kings are just bad. There's the Pelicans are just bad. The Chicago Bulls should be trying to tank now. There's just so many teams out there that are just bad. And the teams that could be somewhat decent are trying to be bad so they can get into the lottery. And especially because they have all these lottery protections.
That's going to be every year, though. But it's only gotten worse. It's getting worse and worse because once you know you don't have a chance of winning, it's like, all right, we got to get the best pick we can get.
And let's just they have to come up. I don't want to get to March, Danny, when games really start to matter. And you have a Philadelphia 76ers trying to be in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference, and they get a 3-game stretch against the Pelicans, the Jazz, and the Wizards. It just, there's got to be some way to stop this. And I don't know what it is. Maybe you could freeze the lottery odds after a certain point in the season, but the imbalance, not just the imbalance, and then also too from an excitement level. If I'm a Jazz fan, I want my lottery pick, but damn, I want to see Jaren Jackson Jr., Keontae George, and I want to see them right now.
Yeah,
they're all healthy.
That might be the answer. Freeze the record at All-Star break. You get your odds by All-Star break record. Other than that, it does not matter. That's how the odds should be.
Yeah, just freeze it.
Whatever your odds are, by All-Star break, that's what we'll go by.
But then that's But the problem could be teams might start tanking early then. All right, we gotta get up on it now from the beginning of this off the rip. Yeah, it's but you can't deny yourself a chance. It's too early.
Yeah, it's too early. To actually be in the playoffs and get a check and fill seats and have people excited. You don't find that out till right around the deadline. It's all right, we ain't got it right now. We got to make moves or we got to start over. But even when you start over, it's yep, the rest of those games that you lose do not matter. Sorry. Right. So you might as well win them. You might as well groom guys. You might as well play and see what they look like and give yourself a chance to win the playoffs. So or get in the play-in and actually you can still get your lottery number, opportunity, your percentage, and also get a chance to be in a play-in and be in the playoffs or something like that. So why not? So that's not a bad solution, kid.
I got two. I'm remiss, Danny. I got 2 other losers for you. You ready?
Damn. Yeah, what we got?
Number 1, Anthony Simons. Damn. He was playing some good basketball for the Boston Celtics. When they traded for him in the offseason, it was damn, Are they going to trade him by the trading deadline because he's messing up their books? They want to get out the second apron. Jason Tatum's not playing anyway. They got his contract just to move him eventually. And the season starts, and the Celtics are one of the best teams in the NBA. And Anthony Simons is one of those key reasons why he's one of the best teams in the NBA, coming off the bench and giving them quality play.
Yeah.
And the Celtics
he's won some games with him. He's won some games for him.
And not only did the Celtics let him go, they sent him to guard to the place where guards ain't going to get 20 minutes.
But they didn't know it was guard heaven over like all the guards in the world were going there. They said, we need Vooch. You know what I'm saying? They figured y'all could use Simons. He could be a key factor over there. Y'all getting rid of Kobe White and everybody. So here's for Simons. He can be back in Portland. Get a better extension.
I feel so bad for him, man, because he was playing. He was in Portland playing inconsequential basketball for a couple of years. He gets to Boston, a winning franchise, and he's hooping like he's taking like all the negative connotations that might have been around him as a player, like changing his perception as a basketball player, a quality basketball player, like contributing to winning basketball. And they trade him to Chicago Bulls. That's tough. That's real tough. And then my other loser too, then this is not as much because I think this season for the most part is already a success. I think the Raptors really should have found themselves a way to get one big man that's quality. Like CMB.
Trace Jackson.
They got Trace Jackson. If Trace Jackson's not cracking the rotation in Golden State, what makes you think he's cracking the rotation?
It's a different system over there, bro. Like Kuminga, like they just play a different system. Like even like they have guys they just don't use for certain because they're not good at that system. You know what I'm saying? You could be better in a better system where they have big men in play. I mean, but yeah, has Jakob been playing much this year? I feel like he's always hurt.
He's been hurt a lot.
You might as well use him to get like somebody, like use him to get somebody more solid. They should have went got Zubac, if anything. They should have went for
that would have been an interesting move for sure. I want to get to your top five. Top teams 5 teams teams to watch at the deadline, but I want to discuss one more thing with you before we get to that. So one of the worst teams, speaking of teams that are in tanking, as we were, one of the worst teams are the Sacramento Kings. Incredible how poor this team is in terms of quality. There are reports.
I feel bad for DeAndre Hunter, if anybody.
Yeah, for sure. But one person that we shouldn't feel bad for is DeMar DeRozan, who is still getting paid handsomely for his services. Now, there were reports or suggestions that maybe DeMar DeRozan would take a buyout as he's towards the end of his career so that he can get paid or so they can go to a championship contender. And then there are other reports saying that DeMar DeRozan is not going to take a buyout, regardless of how good he is, regardless of where he is in his career in terms of age. He is not going to take a buyout because he doesn't want his market to look
like it's at year 17, 18, man. I mean, after this contract,
and you went through getting a buyout. Can you just talk about your experience with that?
It's a tough one, man, to battle because it's like if you get a buyout now, teams are you're gonna offer the minimum, which rightfully they should, or whatever the small amount to make up what you missed, like with Bradley Beal. But now you're seen as a $5 million player. And that sucks if you're in your prime, if you're young, or you still have great years left. You don't want to be seen as somebody that can be taken for cheap. You want to be taken at your value. But we're talking about he's in year 17, going on year 18 at this point. And I get you want more than the minimum, but after this, like realistically, the league is top guys and everybody's picking the chips. Are they going to give you I don't see another max coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they can give you 15, 20, right? Which you can still get if you play like you're supposed to play. Like I've seen it happen with Malik Monk. I've seen it happen with other guys, take a buyout, go somewhere. And then if you ball out and you still valued as a $10, $15 million player, you could still do that. But if you want to win, you can't be thinking about the value that much. You know what I'm saying? This year, 17, 18, you don't have many years left.
DeMar DeRozan is 36 years old right now. Mm-hmm. And he's making $24 million this year. He's making $26 million, and he's making $25 million He's making 24 this year, 24.5. Next year, he's making 25.7.
When's his birthday?
His birthday is August 7th. So he'll
He's
be
turning
in his
37.
age 37 next year.
Yeah.
So I don't even think. So actually, I don't even think he can get a buyout, right? Because you got to be in the last year of your deal.
You can get bought out whenever.
Never.
They just don't give you the full amount. You know what I'm saying? You just get.
Yeah,
You know
no,
if he has 60 left,
he's got
he'll
to
get 50.
he's got to stay there. Yeah, he's got to stay there. $24 million. That team is horrific.
Well, you don't have to stay there. They could buy. They can give him like we gave 40 mil instead of giving you 50. We got 45.
Yeah, you're right.
You can get bought out at any point. I'm sure he would love to get waived to get all of his money, but you get the buyout.
They're not going to waive. Yeah, but they're not just going to
want to save some chips. They want to try to save at least 5.
They're gonna try. Yeah, they're gonna try and move him some way somehow. Him and Levine. What a terrible roster. Oh my gosh. All right. We're almost done here. Let's wrap this up, Danny. Top 5 teams that you want to see post NBA deadline.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. Honorary, because I got 6 right now. Honorary is gonna be the Wizards, because again, we're not gonna see much of them until next year. I mean, the bottom 2 teams are both teams that we're gonna see next year. The Wizards at 6, really, because it's honorary, and at 5, I got Indiana. I really want to see what Indiana looks like when healthy, and they got Ivica Zubac back, because I'm really want to see how it puts together. So they're at number 5 for me, Indiana.
I make 2 notes on those teams. The Wizards, I think it's imperative that they draft well, because as fun as it might seem to have Anthony Davis and Trae Young, we got to realize Anthony Davis is injury prone. They have to. I think it's almost like the Sixers with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. You got to build around Tyrese. As great as Joel Embiid is shown to be at times, this year included.
Even right now, he's scoring 35, 33 a game at 52% from the field right now, last 9 games.
He's balling. You still have to build around Tyrese Maxey, as they should be. If they draft somebody worth it, they should be building around whoever that. You can't.
Yeah, stretch 4, another 3 or something like that. Saying like you can't say, "Oh, we're building around Joel right now." You can't draft around Joel,
and you can't say you're building around Anthony Davis. It's nice to have. You hope it works, but like, don't. If I was them, I would not start trading my draft picks to try and win now.
Yeah,
I would absolutely not. You can't do that. And
so they're honorary. That's DC. 5 is Indiana. 5.
Yeah, we've already talked about Indiana. I gave my thoughts. Okay.
Number 4 for me is Detroit. I like what they did. I want to see what the shooting does for them. Kevin Huerter, I know he hasn't shot at a high clip this year, but playing in that system, I feel like it opens up. He'll have a lot more open floor and getting some shots up. And people forget Dario Saric is a really good pick and pop form. Like, they added some shooting to this group. He may not play a lot, but he's a utility guy that you could use at certain parts of certain series or certain matchups. Like, he's a good guy to have if you need a stretch 4 at the top, like the moment, because they usually play the big bag. They'll play Duran, Isaiah Stewart at the same time, or Duran and I forget who was the other big that they have there.
Paul Reed,
and I feel like there's somebody else they may have. But now, instead of Paul Reed, you can Saric. I'm saying, like, high IQ, crafty, shot, knock down a 3, good passer. He's a good veteran to have, bro. But Huerter really is the win, because you lost out Tim Hardaway, Malik Beasley. All you had really was Duncan Robinson as the most consistent shooter. Dennis Jenkins is good. He can shoot it well. You still have, Karis LeVert, Tobias there, but they're not known as shooters, right? So getting Kevin Huerter helped a lot in that area for you. So I want to see what they look like after this.
What do you think Kevin Huerter is shooting this year, Danny, from 3?
We looked it up earlier. It's pretty bad. It was like 33 or something like that. 32.
31%. What do you think he shot from 3 in his last year with Sacramento?
34.
30.
Yeah. So his last 2 years have been bad.
He might be an imposter, Danny. He
Bro, he's a
might be
career
an imposter
37.
shooter.
Before that, he was
He's
like
a career
37.
30. He's a career 37. He hasn't shot over 30. He only shot 37. He shot 37 one time in the last 4 years.
But he shot over 40. I feel like his first year in Sacramento, he was in the 3-point contest shooting like 46 before that season.
You know how it's a long time.
How long ago was that?
It's been a long time since the Light the Beam Sacramento Kings.
What was that? 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, I got to pull it back up again. But he's not statistically, he's not the shooter that maybe he was said to be coming into the league, or that we thought he was.
That we saw in Atlanta because he lit us the fuck up in Philly.
It's funny how perception really impacts that. Okay, so I'm gonna give it to you. So his first 3 years, he started his career on fire. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First 6 years, 38%, 38%, 36%, 38%, 40%. Last 5 years, 36%, 33%, 30%. Last year, 37. This year, back down to 31.
Yeah.
So, obviously his career got off to a great shooting start, but he hasn't necessarily been the same.
I think again, when he was in a better team with a Trae Young and getting like he's going to be with Cade Cunningham now. He's not going to be in Sacramento. He's not going to be in Chicago, where it's shitty. He's going to get some better looks. So I think it'll go up a good 5% at least. I think he's going to be at least a 37% shooter in Detroit.
I do think they run some very good actions for Duncan Robinson, and I do think they almost rely on Duncan Robinson too much, considering Duncan Robinson is going to be targeted defensively.
Yeah.
So even if Herter ends up being somebody who's targeted defensively, if Duncan's not on, then you'd hope that Herter is on. That's
you have another threat out there.
I still think it's a shame the Jaden Ivey thing didn't pan out the way that they probably wanted to, and I still think they lack another off the bounce scorer.
Yeah, I mean, that's something they definitely use. I said I wouldn't say it's not a huge move, but it's a solid move. I think it puts them, to me, more threatening in the playoffs. So you have another shooter like that, and I've seen Kevin Herter in the playoffs. I've seen what he can do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So Utah number 3. Utah number 3. They made some really good moves with Tripp, Lowry, Keontae George, like those guys, and what pick they might get. Like they could be something special for next year whenever they come back, or even if they let them play this year or something. I'm interested to see what the hell they look like.
How do you think Will Hardy? How do you think they're gonna play that, like offensively and defensively? Because that's
Walker Kessler.
Tripp is not a great Tripp is not a great rebounder.
Walker Kessler comes back. You can go big lineup. You can play Laurie at the 3 if you wanted to. You can do Laurie, Tripp, and Walker Kessler.
And so, what does that mean for the development of Ace? Is Ace Bailey a 6 man? Because he's not
6 years. I mean, he barely played much this year. They only started playing him now recently because they're trying to lose. But yes, he's ultimately a 6 man until you develop him, build up strength, IQ, all that, and learn the game. Because you have Keontae George at the 2 or the 1. If you want to get a solid point guard, I don't know, Isaiah Collier. Like this solid little group right there, bro. And Ace coming off the bench behind Laurie.
Yeah, and they still don't forget Filipowski as well. I think he's a nice little big man too.
Yeah,
he's got a little game to him. He's got some touch.
Decent. Good backup Tripp. Well, like I said, you can mix up the lineup so you have enough bigs. But I think Utah made some good moves. I'm interested to see what they look like when they have everybody back healthy in that group.
What I can appreciate about Utah, we've seen the fascination with teams going big again and going double big, but they can go double big with shooting. Like, like Dallas was trying to go double big with Anthony Davis and Derek Lively. They're going big with like real shooters.
Laurie and Tripp.
That's somebody's got to grab rebounds. They're going to be Walker Kessler is a restricted free agent this offseason. His market is going to be very interesting. It was reported that the Pacers were trying to get on him too. All right.
Yeah. But they got Zubac. They got to upgrade. They get even better. Number 2, Boston. And not so much this year. I don't know if Vooch is a free agent this summer or if they can retain him or if they get an extension, but Vooch, with that offense, with Joe Mazzulla and Tatum back, with that group, I'm very interested to see what the hell that looks like. With
Why? Okay,
Kata.
so why are you? I know what Nikola Vucevic is, and I'm about to look up his contract right now. But why are you excited about that? When I think they had the better version of Vucevic when they had
Kristaps.
Porzingis.
They won a championship.
And Chris, but Vucevic ain't playing defense like Porzingis was.
For sure, but Porzingis is there half the time. He is an iteration of Porzingis and Horford. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not playing defense like that, but they're just a high offensive power, like outscore teams. And they have other guys like Kata and Jaylen Brown and Derek White that can help cover some of the defensive issues. As long as Vooch can rebound some and stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Again, you were very lacking to me in your front court. Like, you had Luka Garza, who's decent, and Xavier Tillman, again, solid bigs, but they're not Vucevic.
I'll be interested to see. And this. So he's a free agent. Yeah, he's 21.
See what kind of deal you get. It's gonna be a fair deal.
This could be interesting because, especially after he's played meaningless basketball for the Bulls for so long, for the most part, can the Celtics say you're going to be our Al Horford for the next 3-4 years? You're going to stretch the floor. We're not going to pay you big bucks. We're not guaranteeing that you're going to start. But if you can agree to do 15 to 20 minutes for $15 million a year, we'll keep you around to the end of your career. We'll keep you around for the twilight of your career. He's what, 35 right now, 34, 35. Let me see. 35 years old. Like, if I was Vucevic, not a bad deal. If you can guarantee me that. So
give him like a 3-year deal.
But he's not under contract 60? For next year.
Yeah, if you gave him like a 3-year, 60 or something like that.
Yes, but yeah, a 360 sounds about right. Now, what's interesting though, Danny, is that while people rightfully so, shout out to Rockets Collective fangirl who basically said that he's food at the rim. It's raps. It's a wrap. I agree. Now, with that being said, though, there's some belief that if the Celtics were willing to give away Anthony Simons, essentially another perimeter-based playmaker / scorer, and get Vucevic in a trade for giving away that, it means that they feel very comfortable, or they have the belief that they can replace that playmaking, that scoring from the perimeter, with one Jason Tatum. That is what could be interesting if the Celtics believe we can give away Simons, and we might as well get Tatum. A play because we have Tatum coming this season. That would be very interesting.
That's what I'm interested in. So I don't know if he comes back this season, but again, as it might be just for next season. But
that's what I'm saying. If you give away Simons, it could reveal that
he's coming back this season. Yeah, it could reveal that Jason Tatum's coming back. Understood, bro. Anyways, my number one, which you might not like, I just want to see what they look like because I don't know, and I don't know how much better or how much, if they even are better or worse, or what extension that he gets. I want to see what Cleveland looks like, bro. I just want to see what they look like with James. You got to see what iteration of any team looks like when you add a top 75 player to your group, regardless of age or not. And James has been hooping all the year this year. So has Donovan. I want to see what that duo looks like and what the bigs look like with James as the point guard. So I wouldn't say fix all problems, but fixes a lot of problems.
Yeah. I would say it's going to be a good thing in general for them. I would say this though, it's the fact that they felt like they needed to get James also tells me how disappointed they are in the lack of development of Evan Mobley.
And maybe just Darius.
Well, yes, but I thought Evan Mobley, I think they all wanted him to take another leap terms of scoring, like being able to
Yeah,
score,
he's
put the ball.
for sure. And he had injuries. He had last year had a better year than this year, but he just had injuries that hurt him. But yeah, bro, I think it's more just a Darius thing, man. He's not available. His numbers weren't as consistent as they were. All-star number not happening. They're not winning as much, and they just realize it's time. That small, big thing ain't happening. And I'm sure they probably shopped Jared Allen at one point, or they said they were talking about it. It's like it's time to change it up. So
no, I think the Cavs are. I think they're ready. I think they're right back to where we thought they were in the beginning of the season, one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference. Just what happens. It just depends on what happens when those bright lights come on. That's all.
Again, I'm very much interested to see. They're my number one. I want to see what the hell happens this rest of this regular season, and especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's pretty much it. Trading deadline is over. There's your winners, there's your losers, there's teams that we want to see going forward, and hopefully we can not have too many teams tanking towards the end of the season. Just because I want to show some love to people here in the chat, Danny. Before we say goodbye, somebody said, "Danny, please give some love to your Raptors. Bobby Webster is playing some 2026 Moneyball."
Yeah, they're doing some good stuff, man. I mean, they're playing well. They should have had 2 All-Stars this year. And I was reluctant because of like, they shouldn't get 2 All-Stars. I had Josh get him. They should have had 2 All-Stars. They were 4th in the East. And BI should have been All-Star. And so Scotty made it. But I thought MPJ got snubbed, and I thought BI got snubbed. Trying to think who they might have replaced. Well, at least one of them should have made it. I would have said, but it's probably Pascal. Because Indiana didn't deserve an All-Star. Not saying Pascal don't deserve All-Star. The Indiana Pacers do not deserve an All-Star.
Yeah, I thought that's ridiculous, and it's nothing. It's not about Pascal, but that team. Yeah,
my dog, you deserve to be an All-Star every year. Sorry, but your team does not deserve an All-Star. They're just really bad. Yeah. It took 2 months for them to get Carlisle's 1,000th win, and he was at 999.
For like 2 weeks,
like coming into the season. It took you didn't get it until after January. You came to the season with 997 wins, and you're gonna get that shit till the new year, bruh.
That's OD. That's OD.
Yeah, you do not deserve an All-Star.
All right, we'll be back probably to preview All-Star Weekend, or definitely to react to All-Star Weekend. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh,
yeah, y'all know what to do.
Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button. All those things. And if
you
didn't hear me the first time,
review,
Danny will tell you.
Yeah.
See y'all next time.
Peace.